Hello one and all! This is my review, reaction, and cut-content discussion of Arifureta Season 3, Episode 15, What Makes a Hero? And based on the title, I think it's pretty obvious this episode is going to be all about Kouki! Wait, please, don't turn off the video, Don't worry, he is going to suffer. Holy Mother of God above, is he going to suffer this episode? Oh, I can't wait. I genuinely can't wait for it. This is going to be such a fun fight. So I'm also very curious how they're going to frame it, because this chapter starts off with a full 5 pages about Kouki's backstory, actually explaining why he is the way he is. And I do think that is fairly important for understanding exactly what the freak this moron does this episode. Oh, it's going to be bad. It's going to be very, very bad, and I cannot wait for it. So let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Episode 15, What Makes a Hero? And because it's tradition, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bullet holes! Woo! And only one more left in the barrel. Oh god, I cannot believe only one more episode left this season. I am so hoping we have a fifth season, because next episode, there's 5 different places where they could end it, and all of them will be amazing. I cannot wait for it. Hey, it's evil Kouki! And his copy! God, I love his copy. Seriously, that pitch black armor looks so good. Yeah, so this is going to be the core premise of this entire episode. Basically, Kouki doesn't understand why Hajime is so popular, why everybody flocks to him, when he is, quite literally, a cold-blooded serial killer. He has murdered thousands of people, hundreds, thousands? Somewhere between hundreds and thousands of people. In just a few months since he came to this world, he fully abandons everyone, and yet he is somehow more popular than Kouki, the hero, the person who always saves day, the person who spent his entire life being praised for being the strongest, smartest, bestest boy around, who always does the right thing, and he just can't wrap his head around why, and it is really breaking him. As is the whole loss of his identity as, perfect good boy hero. I don't even know what the point of rejecting that is. I mean, I know Kouki is a moron, but he's rejecting, I want to be a hero. No, you do want to be the hero. That is very obvious. Don't reject that. Seriously, that's an easy one right here. Just say, yes, I want to be the hero. I want to save people. Easy turnaround. So yeah, you might remember the whole premise of this trial is that the more you reject your negative emotions, the stronger your copy becomes, and Kouki is basically going to do nothing but reject his negative emotions for the entirety of this trial, making his copy almost as strong as Hajime. Yeah, he messed up. He seriously messed up here. Ooh, yeah, that's another thing. Basically, Hajime brought out all the best features of, Kouki's hero sword, which is, quite frankly, one of the most powerful weapons in the entire world. Even compared to the stuff Hajime makes, Kouki's sword is freaking amazing. But the thing is, Kouki isn't actually using any of its special features because he doesn't want to rely on Hajime. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want to win thanks to Hajime making him stronger. Which, I mean, if you're going to feel that way, why even bother asking Hajime to tune up your weapon in the first place? Seriously, man, that is just so petty and absolutely freaking stupid. And again, Hajime didn't even make the weapon stronger. He just brought out the weapon's true potential, awoken it to its true form. So, yeah, like I said, Kouki, absolute freaking moron, so petty, truly hate him. I'm looking forward to his suffering. Yes, you absolutely do. Again, you're denying things that are so clearly true to any, casual observer watching this. You clearly resent Hajime. You're clearly mad that your childhood friend, the girl you thought you'd end up with, is with Hajime, and that your backup girlfriend is also with Hajime. Or at least is, making, like, flirty eyes with Hajime. Yeah, he is actually that petty. Hajime literally saved his life on at least 2, probably like 5 different occasions, and all I can think every time that happened was, it should have been me. I should have saved the day. I can't believe someone like Hajime had to save me. I'm angry about that. Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. The stereotypical hero always rushes in the very last second to save the day. And in fact, weirdly enough, Hajime and Shizuku basically had the same conversation when he saved her. With her saying, like, man, you're always rushing at the very last minute. You're just like a hero. And Hajime's response was essentially, yeah, I don't like that. I'd rather get here before it's, almost the apocalypse, before you're sitting here on death's door. I don't like rushing at the last minute, and I don't know why it keeps happening to me. I love you, Hajime. Don't like you, Kouki. Though I like you, Mirror Kouki. Yeah, this is basically Kouki's big fantasy right now, that he is going to go into this labyrinth, that he is going to get ancient magic, and once he has it, he will be Hajime's equal. He will be just as strong, no, even stronger than Hajime is, because, he is the hero, he is the best. Clearly, the only reason why Hajime could be better than him is because he cheated and fell into just getting some ancient magic by mistake. So that's all that really happened here. But Kouki, when he gets ancient magic, when he gets the real power, he's going to use it to beat Hajime, kill God, and bring everybody back home all by himself. Yeah, Kouki has a really big ego, and quite frankly, the ancient magic of this labyrinth, I don't think it could really help him all that much. It's not really suited to him. Oh yeah, also, I think Kouki just activated Limit Break, which multiplies all of his skills several times over, which is a smart move, except he's facing against a copy of himself who also has Limit Break skill, meaning he could just activate it too, and then, they'd be back on the same playing field. So, not using it is probably the smarter decision right now, especially since, after it's done, he'll be severely worn out and will barely be able to fight. Yeah, exactly. Kouki, so against murder, so against killing, couldn't even take down the demon to save all of his classmates. But, his copy? Oh, that's someone he can kill without any issue. Because of that justification, because he always justifies things so that he himself is in the right, so that, he is doing the right thing and everyone who is opposing him is in the wrong, either because they're being tricked or lied to, or they're straight up evil. Yeah, that's really not the expression of a hero right there. There we go. Light Novel describes that as literally the last thing he wants to hear, the line he's most afraid of hearing, the truth he's most afraid of accepting. He knows that Shizuku is in love with Hajime. Yes, he is dense as a bag of freaking rocks, but Shizuku is not very subtle about it. And that is the last thing that Kouki wants to happen. He's already had his one childhood friend, the girl he was planning on marrying down the road, fall in love with this guy. And now his other childhood friend, maybe his backup wife, possibly, is falling in love with the same guy. And that guy is, again, a cold-blooded serial killer. I mean, given that, you almost have to feel bad for Kouki. And, alright, I don't think we're actually getting his backstory in this episode, so I'm just going to explain it quickly right now. Essentially, this chapter opens up with a discussion of Kouki's grandfather, who was a famous attorney who always told Kouki, tales about his legal career, stories about saving the weak, humbling the strong, and lending a helping hand to those who needed it. The only problem was those stories were basically fairy tales. Yes, they were based on true events, true things he experienced out his legal career, but they were so watered down and polished up and cleaned up for the sake of, being told to a child that they were essentially fairy tales. They were stories of heroes and villains of a very black and white society. And, the grandfather figured, like, okay, you know what? This is what Kouki needs as a child. He needs to hear these kind of stories. But, as he grows up, as he ages, I'll teach him that, justice and idealism aren't enough to fight against the dark side of society. I'll tell him the truth about everything I've been through and teach him the world isn't black and white. That way he'll grow up to be a fully well-rounded adult. And, oops, I'm dead. So that kind of just royally messed up the rest of Kouki's life, because, his grandfather was his hero, so even when other people said, like, yeah, no, those ideals are wrong, bad, stupid, Kouki didn't believe them because he had absolute and complete faith in his grandfather. And what's more, Kouki basically never fails at anything. He's strong enough, smart enough, at least academically, and charismatic enough that everything just kind of works out for him, so he's never really suffered any sort of defeat, or at least back in Japan, he never suffered any kind of defeat that would weaken his confidence, and he just kept going like, hey, I'm in the right, I am the hero. The majority of people are saying, I'm the hero, I'm awesome, I'm cool, I'm all this, therefore that must be true. Yes, my friends, my parents keep telling me, like, no, you're in the wrong, stop doing this, but, they're in the minority, therefore they are wrong, therefore they are not part of the good side of society, and therefore I shouldn't bother listening to them. So yes, we basically have a man raised on Saturday morning cartoons, which he treats as gospel. Yeah, really, Kouki. Who does Shizuku have eyes for? Is it for you, or is it for Hajime? And also importantly, like, he's treating Shizuku being in love with Hajime as Shizuku being stolen from him, but I don't actually know if he views Shizuku in a romantic light. I mean, this chapter makes it very clear that he figured he basically, end up growing up and marrying Kaori, but he never says, like, after Kaori leaves, he never says, like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to marry Shizuku instead. I'm not sure if he like views her as a sister he doesn't want, stolen away from him by Hajime, or if that is, like, quite literally his backup wife. Again, not the expression of a hero, screaming, die! Yeah, there we go. Forced to face the truth. Also, I can't help but feel like Kouki's copy is taking it really, really easy on him. Like, Shizuku's copy was bloodthirsty and kept trying to go in for the killing blow, but this dude feels like he's almost playing with him, like he's teasing him, like he's intentionally riling him up just for the pleasure of doing it. Not in a million years. Seriously, dude? Your childhood friend, your other childhood friend, already fell in love with Hajime. And let's not forget, Yui, Shia, Tio, they are all also in love with Hajime. Everybody keeps freaking falling in love with Hajime, and yet you're so certain, you can say with such absolute certainty that Shizuku would not fall in the same boat, that Shizuku wouldn't also fall in love with him. That's I'm not even going to call it self-confidence. That is denial outright. That is just complete and absolute denial. Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is gonna be a very, very fun moment. Holy mother of God. Yeah, that is not a good visual, because even as overwhelmingly dense and stupid as Kouki is, even he can't deny what he's seeing right here. Shizuku is not only clinging to his back, but she is sleeping comfortably, looking calmer and more tranquil and happier than Kouki has literally ever seen her in her entire freaking life. Even a blind man would look at this scene and be like, oh yeah, that girl's in love with him. And this is the point. This is the point where Kouki just completely and absolutely breaks, and I love it. Yeah, look at that face. Look at that sleeping face. Oh, she is adorable and I love it. Yep. And this is the moment where Kouki breaks, where he goes from an annoying inconvenience to an enemy of Hajime's who is actively trying to murder him. And while that change might seem a bit swift, it's important to mention that basically this is building up the entire season. Episode by episode, Kouki has been annoyed, he's been angry, he's been bothered, not only by his inferiority to Hajime, but by Hajime's cold, callous nature, his refusal to help those around him. And, after this labyrinth, after hours and hours of the whispering going on in his head, telling him all these awful things, and in 30 minutes of facing off against his own copy, who continued to tell him about these awful, terrible things, he has broken. He has completely and absolutely broken. Meanwhile, Shizuku is so calm and comfortable that she is still sleeping, while her childhood friend is trying to murder her new boyfriend. Good for her. She deserves a nice nap. Oh, also, they skipped this one line, which I really love in the light novel. Shizuku likes Hajime more than you. I don't blame her either. He saved her a bunch of times, and she's always wanted to be the damsel in distress. Which, yes, she does. And good for her, she finally has that. Oh, also, when Hajime walked in, he saw something snapped in him, and he looked like a demon. There was a madness in his eyes that made it clear he wasn't in his right mind, and that he struck with the intent to kill. This isn't like, he's trying to give Hajime just one good whack on the side of the head to, just get out his frustration. No, he is fully and absolutely trying to murder the man. And Hajime just genuinely doesn't care. The attacks are so slow and so easy to read that Hajime is just casual, like, so why are you trying to kill me, dude? I love it. I said before, like, now he's become an enemy of Hajime's. Enemy kind of implies that he could, threaten Hajime in some way. He is still pretty much a minor inconvenience. Even with Shizuku on his back. Yeah, newsflash, dude. Shizuku doesn't belong to you either. Yeah, Kouki is weirdly possessive of Shizuku and Kaori, basically, maybe subconsciously, viewing them as his women, his property, his belongings. And at the same time, though, he regularly flirts with other girls. Not really flirts, but has girls flirt with him. They're enamored by him after he saves them from whatever. And it's like, oh, Mr. Hero, thank you for saving me. And Kouki basks in their attention. But when it comes to Hajime, someone who's made it very clear, at least before she had joined the harem, that he only had Yui. He only loved Yui. Well, he was awful and mean and terrible. He had a harem, and that was immoral. But Kouki's harem, that was fine, because he was the hero, and it wasn't a harem after all. They were just his friends. They were just trying to thank him. Yeah, Kouki has a very, very twisted personality. Yeah, right there. That is basically the core of Kouki's thinking right now. Essentially, like I said before, Kouki was the hero. Everyone loved and adored and worshipped him back in Japan because whatever problem he faced was very easily handled. There were some bullies, he could be the bullies, he could, do this, he could help these people, he could help these guys move, whatever. He was the hero and he could always save the day. But when he came to this world, that's when he started failing. That's when, even with all the powers of a hero, he faced obstacles like the female demon that he could not defeat, that he could not beat with his own strength, and he had to rely on Hajime to save him. And that's the point where people started seeing cracks in his armor, where they started seeing Kouki not as the perfect dreamboat hero they believed him to be, but as a deeply, deeply flawed person with a very childish personality. And since then, more and more people have not necessarily turned on him, but no longer view him with the same worship as they once did. And he blames Hajime for all of that. If Hajime hadn't, saved them from the demon that was trying to murder all of them, then they wouldn't think less of Kouki, because I guess they'd all be dead. Yeah, like I said, Kouki has a very twisted way of thinking. Also, I love that he's just dodging around these attacks while still carrying Shizuku, and she is not waking up. I mean, she is literally sleeping, but yeah, Kouki's mind, Hajime is holding her ransom. He's using her as a human shield, which is kind of a funny way of describing, considering the fact that the entire reason why Hajime invited Kouki and the others to these trials were to use them as meat shields when the army of apostles eventually shows up down the road. Okay, that's a very interesting addition here. I like that. Okay, so Hajime just set up a barrier so he can actually talk to Shizuku and try to, work things out with Kouki before they start fighting again. Wasn't a light novel, but I think it works really well here. I love flirty Shizuku. I absolutely freaking love flirty Shizuku. Oh, she is adorable. I mean, in his defense, root of all evil sounds like the kind of nickname the Halia tribe would give him. Oh, I love the Halias. And here we go. This is the new core of his belief. This is the new core of his understanding of the entire world. Hajime is a brainwasher. He has this power and he's brainwashed everybody in his life. And as much as I hate Kouki, as much as I despise this man, that does actually make a lot of sense from his perspective, at least. I mean, yes, he warps and, modifies things in his own head to be like, oh, because of this, that must mean this is true, that must mean this is true, blah, 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 blah. But just think for a second. You are Kouki. You are a goddamn Saturday morning cartoon character. You live in a world of very clear black and white, of good and evil, all that fun stuff. And then one day, one of your classmates who disappeared suddenly comes back wearing all black, carrying guns, and murdering people. You would quite rightly think, okay, this is the big bad. This is the person that me and my friends are going to team up against and have to fight to take him down to save the world. Except that doesn't happen. He saves all your lives, and then your childhood friend, again the girl you think you're going to marry, suddenly declares that she has always been in love with this man who she just saw murder someone more or less in cold blood. And then you'd find out that your other childhood friend, who has also been very stern and serious and all that, is also in love with you, is also in love with him and leaving you for him. I don't think it would be that much of a stretch of the imagination for you to think, oh, he's brainwashing them. The reason why all these girls are in love with him, despite the fact that he is a serial killer in a world of, very clear good and evil, must be because he is brainwashing them. Honestly, the argument makes a lot more sense than it did in Shield Hero. And because this is his argument, no matter what anybody says to him, he will just, say, oh, you're only saying that because you're being brainwashed. At one point even says, oh, that's it. The reason why Eri betrayed us all and tried to kill us all was because Hajime must have brainwashed her into leading an army of demons to attack the capital so that he could then murder all those demons, I guess, so that he could look cool or something? I don't freaking know. Kouki's lost it. Kouki has genuinely lost it. But brainwashing is now his excuse for everything. Yep, and now once more Kouki has what he's always wanted. Very clear black and white, good and evil. Hajime is now the evil, the big bad he has to face off against, and he can be the hero. Defeating him will make him the hero. No, he's not jealous or angry that all the girls think Hajime is cooler than him. He's fighting for the side of righteousness. Yeah, I mean, Shizuku is trying. Shizuku is really trying in this moment, with Light Novel even saying she spoke softly and kindly, as if trying to calm a child throwing a tantrum. Yeah, really, that is all Kouki is to her, a child in the midst of a tantrum, an annoying younger brother. Also, I just want to say, as much as I do love Shizuku as a person, she is also partly responsible for this because ever since, she met Kouki, she has basically been in charge of his cleanup. She made sure the cops were called, she made sure that, damages were paid for, she made sure that everyone was okay. She basically cleaned up after all of his heroic expeditions, and that led to problems, because that just convinced Kouki more than ever that he was in the right, that his actions always led to the right outcome. And I'm not saying that she is, she's the cause of this. Even if Kouki had gotten arrested a few times, he would still, declare loudly and proudly that he was on the side of righteousness. But Shizuku certainly made his descent into madness just a little bit easier, and I am bothered by that. This is terrifying. This is genuinely terrifying, how deluded this man is. You're still thinking of me, even though you're brainwashed. Yeah, and if you're wondering why Hajime hasn't murdered him yet, it's simply out of consideration for Shizuku and Kaori, because he figures, okay, it's going to be a bigger pain dealing with them, suffering from the vision of me, the man they love, murdering their childhood friend, than it would be just to let this man live. Because, again, Kouki is absolutely no threat to Hajime, never has been, and never will be. There's certainly an irony to that. You'll no longer need to stay by somebody you don't even like. I'm not sure if he is speaking subconsciously here or not, but I do think there is a very real fear in him that Shizuku doesn't like him, has never liked him, and only stays with him as a sense of obligation, of duty. And, now that she's with Hajime, she will leave him behind and never see him again. He will be abandoned by everyone. I'm not sure if the writing is thinking that far ahead, but I would not be surprised if it was. Yeah, so for the record, Kouki is still using Limit Break, even though it has been several minutes already. And the only reason why he can do that is because Hajime upgraded his armor to make it more mana efficient. So, yeah, that's kind of on you and Hajime. In fact, I think later on it even says, I should have never upgraded that idiot's sword. Yeah, Kouki, this should be a red flag. This should be a very, very big red flag when your own inner demon is trying to help you. That is some seriously twisted, messed up logic. Like I said before, that's Kouki's whole deal. He twists reality to whatever form best suits him. If thinking that his copy won't kill Shizuku so that he can makes it easier for him to focus on his fight with Hajime, then he will believe that 100%. In fact, even if Shizuku ended up getting murdered by his copy in this fight, he would probably still find a way to blame Hajime for it, saying he weakened her or poisoned her, or oh, she was so badly damaged from the brainwashing she couldn't fight back at full strength. In fact, Light Novel Kouki is even more twisted right here, as he says it won't kill her, and roughing her up a bit will teach her not to get brainwashed by scum like you again. Okay, as much as I want to call Kouki a sociopath, whatever, that is abuser behavior right there. That is 100% the kind of thing you'd expect to hear from a man who is beating his wife. Like, yeah, well, she got roughed up, but now she's not going to talk back to me no more. That is sick and twisted in a way that actually makes me physically ill. Kouki, you deserve to die. You 100% deserve to die. Okay, so that right there, that was Kouki's 1000th mistake, because he said all their names, but without honorifics. He's being way too casual, and that actually ticked off Hajime more than Kouki trying to kill him. Not joking. Yeah, also, seriously, like, Kouki is so convinced he can win this fight. Hajime just bounced back the sword without even trying. This is not a fair fight. Kouki is 1,000 times weaker than him. Yeah, like I said, didn't use their names honorifics, and that royally ticked him off. And I think Kouki forgot that Hajime has a goddamn gun. In fact, 2 guns, which are way, way faster than his sword and can shoot him from very far away. Yeah, that was it. That's all it took to defeat him. I know it's supposed to be like, oh, the big epic final battle of the season, but No, not even anime creators could create a situation where Kouki is actually a match for Hajime and could really push him in a fight right here. Shizuku, I really do love and adore you, but he's a little bit past that at this point. At the very least, you need to end this trial and figure out a way to stabilize him before having, the talk. Yeah, also for the record, that did a lot of damage to Shizuku, and I think the only reason why she survived in the light novel is because Hajime stepped in and saved her, meaning Kouki's copy would very much have murdered her. Go on, me, it's hero time. Oh, that is so cringe. The light novel says, the copy looked like a devil trying to lead him into temptation, which it very much was, and I'm very excited for what's about to happen. Yeah, again, just this utter and absolutely ridiculous self-justification. Like, oh, I'm not going to do what you say, I'm not going to listen to you, I'm going to still defeat you, but before that, I'm going to absorb you into my body, make you a part of me, and gain your insanely awesome power, which I'm sure there's going to be, no negative consequences for whatsoever. And then once this fight is done, I'm going to get you out of me, somehow, and defeat you, even though you are clearly way stronger than me. Oh, interesting. This is definitely a change. Yeah, Light Novel says Hajime waited like a good villain for him to complete his hero transformation. Which I do just absolutely love. Hajime respects the tropes, I gotta say. Ooh, like that. I like the different colored eyes. Yeah, smoke bombs is a very good way of making that animation transformation a bit cheaper, I suppose. Oh, no, that all we're getting? I'm pretty sure Light Novel Kouki had, different colored armor and, a spider web, like a purple spider web vein pulsing out from him. Yeah, I'm just gonna accept a literal deal with a demon right here for the sake of insane power just so I can defeat you. Exactly the kind of thing a hero should do. Again, how? Literally, how are you planning on defeating someone who is literally inside of you? Okay, so Overload is the derivative skill of Limit Break, which multiplies all of his stats 5 times over and puts him now above 10,000. He's basically at the same level of Noint the Apostle and could be a serious threat to Hajime. Like I said, could be. Except he's not, because he is such a bad fighter. He has insane power right now, but just cannot use it in any sort of reliable way, either because he's just, bad at fighting in general, or because he's just so overwhelmed by anger that he can't keep a cool, calm, and collected head. And right here, he was so convinced that he moved faster than Hajime could see that, Hajime had no time to react to him. Hajime did. In fact, Hajime had so much time that he didn't even bother turning around. He could have just, turned around and shot at him. He didn't need that much time. All he needed to do was go like this, bang, and that's it. Game over for Kouki. And just a kick to follow it up. Kouki, so utterly convinced in his own superiority that he made a deal with a literal demon to get more power, and he still can't hold a candle to Hajime, which, ironically enough, actually makes Ryu smarter than him. Let's not forget that Ryu, I can't remember if he saw the name or not, but he was offered the same thing. I will grant you power, I will become part of you, and I will give you the power to do whatever you want. And Ryu's response was, God, no, are you insane? If I get power, I'll go after Yui. And if I go after Yui, Hajime will kill me, because there is no way on God's green earth that you can give me more power than Hajime has. Yeah, really. Hajime could have gone for the killing blows. He should have, shot him in the head or whatever. He didn't. He's going easy because he still doesn't want to murder him, because that's going to make Kaori and Shizuku sad. Hajime really has changed. which I would complain about, but honestly, I'm just really happy because that means we get to see Kouki suffer so much more. Yes, even this fight, even right now, Hajime's focus isn't on Kouki. It is on Shizuku and Kaori. The aftermath of killing you would be more annoying than if I didn't. He really is just saying, Kouki, you are so utterly and absolutely insignificant that I don't even feel like killing you. It would be too much of a headache to deal with the cleanup of murdering you, because even with all this power you have right now, you can't even touch me. There's nothing you can do to ever be a real threat to me. I can't, not even, like, this is another thing. We'd actually see the scene. We didn't see a scene in the anime, which is very disappointing to me, but basically, after Hajime first saved Kaori and she agreed to come along, and she decided to come along with him on their journey, Kouki challenged him to a duel, and basically said, we'll fight with no weapons, because clearly all your power is coming from those guns of yours. And so, you know, Kouki tried to fight him, he tried to duel him, and Hajime still kicked his butt, basically by opening up a giant hole in the ground, dropping him in it, and then throwing a bunch of grenades in afterwards, showing that his skills had nothing to do with his weapons. He is just naturally stronger than Kouki is, and a much better fighter. Again, no expression on Hajime's face. He is not concerned about this fight at all. This is, again, a minor inconvenience for him. That is a very interesting line, as it could be interpreted as him basically saying, like, I'm the hero, I always do what's right, or it can be interpreted as, I'm the hero, therefore whatever I do is right, is morally just. I mean, they both are kind of true right now. Hey, and now here's everybody else who are a little bit confused about what's going on right now. I mean, not the girls, I mean, besides Kaori, Yui, Shia, Tio, they don't really care what's going on with Kouki. The rest of them, though, they are very concerned. I mean, there very much is a need for him because he is way, way stronger than you, and also he's the only one who can actually, you know, bring you back to freaking Japan, unless you feel like going through every single labyrinth by yourself. Good luck getting to the underwater one, and the volcano one is kind of, you know, destroyed because of the freaking volcano erupting. Yes, again, just total indifference to this fight. Checking in on Yui, making sure she's okay, not at all caring about Kouki. Yeah, what's with the idiot? Oh, I love Yui so much. Yeah, Tio actually looks disgusted, but Kaori, of course, childhood friend, is obviously very concerned about him. Of course, Ryu, Suzu, they are also his friends. They are also very concerned about how, you know, the hero of justice, the morally righteous, upright person, now looks like a homicidal killer. Yeah, also Shizuku got hurt pretty badly by the copy. You know, the copy that Kouki said would never hurt her seriously. Yeah, really. I mean, honestly, up to this point, Hajime has been incredibly considerate for him, trying to give him the time, trying to give him the space he needs to actually pass his trial, to actually accept his own weaknesses, overcome his own false image, and just accept himself for who he is. But that's not happening, so, you know, you might as well just murder him here and now. Yeah, seriously, they are shaken. I made a joke about them before, but they are genuinely shaken seeing their friend this far gone. I mean, they've had some idea that he was starting to crack a little bit over the last couple days, but even they didn't think he'd go this crazy. Yeah, like I said, brainwashing is a very useful excuse, as he can just, you know, wipe everything away. Whatever anybody says to him, if he doesn't agree with his own, you know, personal beliefs, his own understanding of the world, oh, they've been brainwashed. They're lying to me because they've been brainwashed by Hajime. He is the big bad. He is the evil. He is the ultimate threat to the universe. And he's brainwashing everyone, so they all disagree with me. They're all saying I'm crazy, but I know the truth. I know I'm not crazy. They're crazy. They're all crazy because of Hajime. I gotta kill Hajime! Yeah, really. We can't just wait for you every single time. This is reference back to like before. Hajime waited for him to finish his whole hero transformation when he merged with his copy. This time, though, yeah, he's not waiting. He's just gonna tie the dude up and land the finishing blow. Love these things. These are bolas that are basically using spatial magic, so he is bound in space itself, and it's essentially impossible to escape from them unless you also have spatial magic. Oh, okay. I was expecting more of a transition, but no, he just pulled out the big freaking huge gun he has. The Grensen. Love this thing. Yeah, also very, very much looks like he's about to murder Kouki, which both fits with his personality and would be very much justified after how much of a headache Kouki has been right here. I love this. I love how dramatic this is. In fact, it actually is a light novel. The sight was so beautiful that it was hard to believe it had eradicated him from existence. Probably because it hadn't. Yeah, that wasn't actually a weapon designed to harm people. That was just a pure blast of mana designed to essentially destroy mana. Remember back on the the underwater labyrinth they had faced off against all those illusions of the past? The only way to defeat them was to shoot them with mana? Well, Hajime realized, like, okay, if I come across a situation like that again, I'd very much like to have a giant gun I could just fire at them that would disperse their mana. So what Hajime has done here is do the same thing to Kouki. He's dispersed the mana inside of him. Kouki no longer has any mana, therefore his copy is no longer part of him. Yeah, this man is very badly broken. Lightwell says, was barely conscious, but his hatred hadn't diminished. Even without his copy inside of him, he still wants to murder Hajime just as badly as before. Please just die. Please just die. Begging someone to die just for the sake of your ego is just so absolutely sad. There we go. That was satisfying right there. That was very, very satisfying. Oh God above. Again, Hajime did not care. Hajime genuinely did not care about Kouki at any point throughout this entire fight and has already forgotten about him and is focused on Yui. Oh, I love this so much. Like, he can tell by how clinging she is, more clingy than she usually is, that her trial was hard. That took a serious toll on her, and she needs to be comforted by him. That is such a good couple right there. Which is kind of funny because a lot of this trial was, the labyrinth telling them that they are in a very unhealthy codependence relationship. But still, it works for them. Yeah, that is actually true. Not only is his body damaged, but merging with his copy caused serious damage to his soul. And if they heal it the wrong way, he could just suffer either permanent damage or wake up with an entirely different personality. For some reason, Light Novel says if I heal him wrong, he might wake up as an overly cheerful, upbeat guy, and that would be the worst thing ever, which... what? I don't know. I genuinely don't know what they were thinking right there. Yeah, really. Like, they're thinking Hajime is mad at Kouki for causing this big temper tantrum, and that's why he doesn't want him healed all the way. He wants him to leave him suffering and in pain. But what Hajime is thinking is, okay, there might be another trial after this one, another fight, whatever. And if there is, and we have Kouki awake and alert for it, he is going to do something really, really stupid. And at that point, I might need to murder him. So it's best to leave him knocked out and probably tied up for the foreseeable future. Okay, very happy with this scene. They're cutting something important, which I really did like. Basically, after this whole thing, I mean, we saw Yui cling on to him, but Shia clung on to him. Kaori just rushed the healing, dropped Kouki to the ground, and ran off to go cling to him. Tio clinged to him, had a whole conversation about, how she lied to him, how she's trying to use him to get revenge against the gods, all of that. And then Shizuku is looking at him, like, seriously. Tio sees that and says, now this is quite interesting. Hey, good luck, young lady. And I do wish we saw that because I think the only anime original scene we've gotten in this entire season so far has been one of Tio cheering on Shizuku and telling her to be more selfish. Love that scene. So I would have liked to see, more of that. I would like to see more of Tio giving her the, thumbs up and cheering her on. She also got a permission from Kaori before she did this, I believe. There we go! There we freaking go! Woo! Those were inhuman sounds I just made, but okay. Also importantly, Shizuku used her skill No Tempo to do this kiss, so that Hajime wouldn't be able to stop or wouldn't be able to move out of the way. Yes, she is in fact that fast and that skilled, and it was said that it was a kiss that warmed him to his very soul. There we go! Love it, love it. Kaori shocked, though Light Novel very specifically says that Kaori is not shocked by Shizuku's feelings. She's known them for a while, but instead she is shocked by the fact that Shizuku is now being open with her feelings and honest. Especially because, we just saw Kouki go into a blind rage over Shizuku's feelings for Hajime. Before this trial, Shizuku would have taken that as a sign like, okay, no, I can't accept my feelings, I can't embrace them, I can't show any love or interest in Hajime ever again because it would hurt Kouki, because my feelings for Hajime would hurt Kouki, and I can't do that. I can't do that to my annoying little brother, so I'm just going to keep pretending that they aren't there. These feelings don't exist. But after the trial, she's like, you know what, forget about Kouki. Yes, he's mad. Yes, he can have a temper tantrum. I don't care. I am kissing the man I love right here, right now. Yeah, really. That was Shizuku's big fear. Like, oh, Kaori's gonna hate me because I'm in love with the guy she's in love with. But no, of freaking course she wasn't. Kaori's already sharing him with Yui and Chia, but also Kaori has been encouraging Shizuku to be more selfish and go after what she wants for a very long time, so she could not be happier about this. In fact, she even says, oh, we'll form a duo and take down Yui and Chia as best girls in the harem. I love this harem. I genuinely love this harem and the relationships all the characters have with one another. I've actually said this before, I don't know if I said this season. Most harem series fail because the girls are all flat, they're one-dimensional. All we ever see them do is fighting with one another. But in this series, all the girls have very clear relationships with all the other girls. They are not flat, they are very well-rounded characters, and their relationship to Hajime is just part of that. Good for you, girl. Say it loud, say it proud. You're in love. Oh, also, for the record, we didn't see it, but Suzu and Ryu were so shocked by Shizuku's confession that Ryu, who was carrying Kouki at the time, dropped him and didn't notice for like a full minute. Then picked him up and said, okay, dude, you know what? I kind of understand why you went insane. Anybody would. At which point, Suzu kind of offered to join Hajime's harem as well, because it would let her, sleep with Yui and Shizuku, which, yeah, that's a very Suzu thing to say. Alright, oh, I like this. I like this already. Yeah, this Liberator, what's his name, Weiss, I think it was? He is a complete and absolute artist, and it is really showing already. This is a beautiful spot. Love it. Absolutely love this palace. Home of the final Liberator and the final ancient magic they need to go back home. Schnee, not Weiss. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I was thinking Weiss Schnee from Ruby, but I got the name mixed up. Sorry about that. Alright, that's the end. One more episode to go. It will be called... Season 3. Episode 16, The Key to the World. And now we see the last bullet is called Season 3. I guess it makes sense. So, alright, this is a fantastic episode. I've talked for a long time, and I was interrupted on no less than 3 separate occasions throughout this process. Love seeing Kouki just getting his butt kicked this entire episode. And Hajime, again, just not caring. Again and again and again, Kouki's like, I will defeat you! And Hajime's not even paying attention. Talking to Yui, talking to Shizuku. not even bothering to turn around to shoot at him, and not even bothering to fight seriously. Like, this is the thing, when Kouki was at his best, when he was like fully merged with his negative self and like just feeding it so much, his power was the equivalent of Noin's and could almost rival Hajime's. And yet Hajime didn't bother pulling out Limit Break, didn't bother doing any special skills or anything like that, because he didn't need to. Even with all the power in the world, Kouki does not know how to use it. That's like a whole metaphor for his entire existence. He has power, just doesn't know what even if he had power, even if he had all the power in the world, he would not know what to do with it, and he would just, fumble around and get his butt kicked by those weaker than him, because he is not a smart man at all. Oh, Kouki, you are a complete and absolute moron. I was hoping we'd see a bit more from his, fuse design, like different armor, or like I said, I think the light novel said like purple spiderweb veins spreading across his face, something, but this does look pretty cool. I do like the one demon eye, and just, oh god, the end of the fight. Just, please, Nagamo. Give me back all the things that should be mine. Please just die. This is just so absolutely sad. As Kouki has genuinely twisted his perception of reality to convince himself that Shizuku and everybody is being brainwashed, that anyone who disagrees with him is being brainwashed. And that is basically a natural extension of his old worldview. Like, he used to believe in the majority. The majority said he was a hero, therefore he was a hero. And anyone who said differently, anyone who disagreed, well, they weren't, they were part of the majority. They weren't in the right. They were in the wrong. Now he's believing the same thing. Those who disagree with him, those who are against him, well, they're clearly being brainwashed by Hajime. Just again and again, this man refuses to take any sort of criticism whatsoever. And as a result, he got his butt kicked and both of his girlfriends stolen. Like, seriously, again, I'm not really sure if he was in love with Shizuku, what his plans are with Shizuku, but there was a world where he could have been with Shizuku, where he could have been her knight in shining armor. If he genuinely tried to help her, deal with those girls who were bullying her back in elementary school, he would have been her knight in shining armor. He would have been someone that she actually felt like she could depend on and be saved by, and they would have been again, I think he might have liked Kaori more than her, but, Shizuku could have still been interested in him and wanted to be with him, especially after Kaori left the party, but no, Kouki is too goddamn stubborn and stupid and just all these awful things to ever actually, be the man that Shizuku wanted, the man that Shizuku needs in her life. Thankfully, though, she has Hajime, and now everybody knows that she has Hajime. Oh, I love this. I absolutely freaking love this. Good for you, Shizuku. You 100% deserve this. And again, the fact that she's doing this, despite the fact that Kouki just had a full-blown meltdown about her feelings for Hajime, are just proof of how much she's grown as a result of this trial. She's willing to put herself first, even to the detriment of her friends. She'll still be there for them, she'll still support them, but she will not let herself suffer for their sake any further. Not again. She is living her best life, and again, she freaking deserves it. Love it, absolutely love it. And next episode will grant us the key to the world, which, yes, I cannot wait. I cannot freaking wait for this, because this scene right here is, I might say, genuinely my favorite moments of all times. This is absolutely, like, one of my top 3 favorite moments in this entire series, specifically because of one line in particular that I will rant about for a good 5 minutes next episode, so look forward to that. But please, let me know down below. What do you think is the key to the world? What do you think's gonna happen when Kouki, does eventually wake up and realizes not only that everyone is still claiming not to be brainwashed, but that he also failed the trial? Will he believe them? Will he not? Will he still say they're brainwashed? Will he believe that these girls are actually in love with Hajime despite him being a serial killer? What's going on with that? And what's going to be the new relationship now that Shizuku is part of the harem? Let me know all this down below, and until next time, peace!